Unexpected turns. When military homecomings don't go as planned, a shocking tale. You know those heartwarming military homecoming videos that make you cry happy tears? Well, buckle up, because this one's different. I'm about to tell you a story that'll make your jaw drop. My story. And trust me, no one could have predicted how this homecoming would end. Picture this. A soldier returns home early to surprise the love of his life with a proposal, only to find her in bed with, wait for it, his best friend. Yeah, that soldier was me, and this is how my perfect homecoming turned into a viral nightmare. I'll never forget the day I decided to pull off the ultimate surprise, coming home early from deployment to propose to my lovely fiancée, Emma. We'd been together for what felt like an eternity, and with the stresses of war behind me, I couldn't wait to see her beautiful face light up with joy. As an added twist, I convinced my best friend, Alex, to keep the surprise an absolute secret. He promised to cover for me if anyone inquired, and even pretended to be talking to his long-lost aunt, just to make our homecoming even more believable. The plan was set: walk through the front door, drop to one knee, and ask for her hand in marriage. Easy peasy, right? But alas, I'm that guy who actually did it. Fast forward 20 hours of constant calls, planning, and visualizing the perfect moment. I walked in, took a few deep breaths, and remembered all the romantic comedies I've seen in the movies, just to calm my nerves and get into character. As I opened the door, I could see the outline of a mass on the couch through the dimly lit living room. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be? Did I really get it right this time? And then I heard the laugh. Richard's laugh, a mix of satisfaction and guilt, which instantly raised my suspicions. My eyes darted towards the mass on the couch, and that's when my world came crashing down. With a crunk-chunk sound, their bodies froze in place, and their wide, guilt-stricken grins greeted me. Emma looked like she just swallowed a wasp, and I'm pretty sure Richard choked on the apple in his mouth, since his response was more like a 10-year-old's phrase of LOL. Woo. It was basically miming, "Help, someone get me out of here." It felt like all the water in the ocean suddenly evaporated, and the next few minutes that followed would change my life forever. Let me introduce myself. I'm Chris, and I served our country proudly for almost 2 years overseas. During that time, I had one thing keeping me going: thoughts of my girlfriend Emma back home. Man, was I in for a surprise. As I sit here, reflecting on my journey, I still can't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. I mean, who gets cheated on by their best friend while serving overseas? Only me, it seems. But let me tell you, it's a wild story. And I'm not just talking about the time I accidentally set off the fire alarm in our barracks kitchen while trying to cook ramen noodles. Don't ask. No, this tale goes far beyond that. My name is Chris, and I'm a proud veteran of almost 2 years overseas. It's a time that will forever be etched in my memory, not just for the long deployment days, but for the struggles of maintaining a relationship while being thousands of miles away. And as it turned out, for the ultimate betrayal. During those tough times, one person kept me going: my lovely girlfriend Emma. She was my shining star, my guiding light, and my favorite person to talk to on those endless deployment days. We'd chat for hours, sharing our hopes, dreams, and fears. And I thought we had something special. Emma, with her bright smile and infectious laugh, was always on my mind. I'd often find myself getting lost in thought, imagining our future together. Yeah, I was a goner. And then, I did what any rational, yet slightly obsessed, man would do. I saved up my hard-earned cash to buy the perfect engagement ring. I knew Emma loved premium-cut diamonds, and I was determined to get the best one out there. After 3 long months of working, saving, and counting down the days, I finally had enough to splurge on that perfect gem. Mom even helped out by decorating the house with roses and candles, ready for the big moment. But that's when things started to get interesting. You see, I had trusted my supposed best friend, Richard, to watch Emma's back while I was gone. Yeah, I know. Hindsight's 20/20, right? Poor Richard had other ideas in mind, though. As I'm about to reveal, Richard's idea of looking after Emma was more like, well, not exactly what I bargained for. So, before I spill the beans, let me give you a gentle warning. What you're about to hear is some serious, jaw-dropping drama. Reality TV shows might be entertaining, but trust me, this beats anything you've ever seen on screen. And I'm not just talking about the wild look Emma gave me when I finally found out the truth. Priceless, by the way. No, this is a story of military shock, family betrayal, and more than a little bit of home front anarchy. Get ready for some serious laughter, some genuine surprises, and a healthy dose of embarrassment. And that's where it all went wrong, folks. See this ring? I saved 3 months of my salary to buy it. Premium cut, just like Emma always wanted. I had it all planned out, the perfect proposal, the perfect moment, the perfect future. My family was in on it too. Mom even decorated the house with roses and candles, ready for when I'd pop the question. But here's where it gets interesting. And by interesting, I mean absolutely insane. Remember Richard? My supposed best friend since high school? The guy who promised to look after Emma while I was deployed? Well, he definitely took that promise a little too literally. Before I continue, I should warn you, what you're about to hear contains some serious drama. If you think those reality TV shows are wild, just wait until you hear what happened next. It was 2 a.m. when I finally made it home, feeling like a hero carrying a weighty secret. A huge bouquet of her favorite flowers in one hand and a ring box burning a hole in my pocket. The house was dark, which made sense, considering the master plan I had devised to surprise Emma with breakfast in bed. I'd leave a trail of flower petals leading to the bedroom, music softly playing in the background. It was going to be a moment she'd never forget. Or so I thought. As I quietly slipped in, feeling like the sneaky soldier I used to be, my eyes scanned the living room, expecting to see the warm glow of our coffee table lights or the faint hum of the TV. But there was nothing. Just darkness, except for the flickering streetlights peeking through the curtains. Shaking off the sudden chill that ran down my spine, I thought to myself, maybe she's just watching a movie in bed, thinking we can catch up in the morning. But then I heard it. Those strange noises coming from upstairs. At first, they sounded like creaks and groans of an old house. But then I recognized the unmistakable rustle of someone getting out of bed and shuffling across the floor. My combat training kicked in, that heightened sensitivity to unusual situations my military colleagues would be proud of. My heart pounding in my chest like a drumline. I mentally cycled through possible reasons why Emma would be up and moving around in the dead of night. Was it a nightmare? Had she gotten up for a drink of water? I halted at the latter thought, and for a fleeting moment, I considered the possibility of her being sleep-deprived, until I heard his voice. I've known Richard for over a decade, since our freshman year. We shared more laughs, inside jokes, and memories than I can count. But as I crept up the stairs, my legs felt like lead, weighed down by the words that no friend ever wants to hear. Our bedroom at the end of the hall. The one I shared with Emma, the love of my life. My best friend and confidant by my side only a moment ago. Now with my wife. Yeah, that's when reality slaps you in the face. My sneakers barely made a sound as I climbed the stairs, trying to remain as stealthy as possible, hoping to catch Emma off guard and give her a well-deserved wake-up call with a romantic breakfast. But what I got was a scene that makes your worst nightmares come to life. Emma lay sprawled across our bed, oblivious to my approach, with Richard hovering above her, face inches from the sheets, wearing that expression of fake calmness, like he was in the middle of trying to catch a loose tooth. Yeah, that was the face my best friend had plastered on his features. Like he'd never betrayed my trust. Like he'd never snuck into our home under the guise of checking on Emma. I took a moment to replay the conversation I'd have with him later, but for now, let's agree on this. His innocent-looking face would soon change to forever buried face. But that's not the best part. The deal breaker in all of this came when I heard Emma's own words, her voice trembling with a million tears. I was lonely, Chris. Tears running down her face like a water spill, and I'm standing there, stunned, as if those words were some genius one-liner she'd meticulously rehearsed. Well, I guess defending our country wasn't as important as your entertainment schedule. Those words hung in the air like a poisonous monoxide cloud, which killed all hopes of redeeming our love. It was time for damage control, in a non-military way. You know what's crazy? Looking back, this whole disaster was actually a blessing in disguise. 6 months after all this went down, I was at the dog park with Loyalty, my new dog, when we literally crashed into this amazing woman who's now my wife. Turns out sometimes life has to fall apart before it can come together even better. I mean, seriously, who needs a best-selling self-help book when you've got a best friend, a cheating ex, and a smart, adaptable canine? Sounds like the makings of a real-life sitcom to me. I recall the day it all went downhill. Or should I say, my whole world went into a nosedive. 6 months of feeling lost and betrayed, and I still couldn't shake off the gut-wrenching guilt of not being enough for my best friend Richard, who knew that those months of heart-wrenching drama were just a warm-up for the real-life drama that was about to unfold. But wait, this isn't a tragic love story. No tears, no sorrow here. So, here I was walking through the dog park with my trusty sidekick Loyalty, feeling more down than a soggy pretzel at a soggy festival. My best friend had just cheated on me with my girlfriend, Emma, and my life was a never-ending nightmare of heartbreak and self-doubt. Then bam! I collided with the love of my life. A charming woman named Sarah with a smile that could light up a dark room and a heart as pure as snow. Coincidence? Maybe. Destiny at work? More likely. Fate has a beautiful way of turning potential downfalls into bungee jumps into the unknown. A life full of new experiences, shared laughter, and redefined love stories. So, the dog park collision that shook up my life turned out to be an unexpected blessing, leading me to the love of my life. And let's not forget the unwavering support of Loyalty, that furry, sassy, adorable bundle of unconditional love. Fast forward to the most unforgettable wedding I've ever had the pleasure of attending, clearly not my own, but rather my ex-girlfriend and my ex-best friend. Yes, they invited me to their wedding, and I actually went, bringing both Sarah and Loyalty along. But imagine the scene: fancy suits, beautiful decorations, and my beautiful bride with her new husband by her side, and a very special guest making their grand entrance. Introducing the real main event. Loyalty, my new best friend, the ultimate MVP, crashing the wedding in the most unexpected way possible. The sight of my adorable, hyper-Loyalty interrupting the warm atmosphere was a moment of pure comedy when I desperately needed to laugh and move forward. However, things turned serious when Loyalty did what many of us wouldn't dare, leaving an unforgettable mark on Richard's fancy suit pants. It just so happens that my ex-best friend, Richard, not only got schooled on what unconditional love truly means, but also on the unfortunate consequences of not keeping his pants zipped when around me and my trusty sidekick. One thing that I've come to realize from all this emotional roller coastering and unexpected twist of fate is this: no matter what mess you're dealing with, even the most jarring betrayals can lead you down a path to greater love and understanding. Hold on to faith, keep smiling, and above all, prioritize loyalty if you're lucky enough to have a trusty furry friend like I do. And when faced with a difficult choice, remember, let the dog win. They're the true MVP when it comes to unconditional love and loyalty.